1, 2, 3.
We were both, I think, really intent on doing the best job that we could of preparing ourselves for marriage. We wanted to see how the church would have us prepare for marriage and do it well.
It was a neat bridge to where we were going to go next without having to go ahead and make that step, which would have been, I think, pretty fast at that point.
I didn't really know if I wanted to marry him, and I kept asking myself, oh my gosh, if he asked me tonight, what would I say? And not being able to answer that, not being able to know real solidly was really a problem for me.
We had both discussed that we're going to be completely open and honest with everything in our lives. That was our choice, and that was what we felt was best for us.
And going in, we both said we were very clear that if something gets uncovered here that we don't think is wise for us to be married, we're going to be okay with saying, hey, we're not going to be married. We'll go our separate ways.
I'd gone to the class once before and had ended the relationship. I wanted my way. I wanted a future. I wanted this whole thing to be sealed up. And to back out was the scariest thing, the most horrible possibility that I could have imagined. But also the best thing that ever happened to me.
We were at a point where we were about to start living together again.
Spiritually, we weren't walking at all, like no praying together, no reading the Bible together. We have been sexually active as well. The main fear was just telling the truth, because we weren't perfect and we were just a little bit scared about, opening up.
There's some nervousness. Is it going to uncover something in me that could be, something that he doesn't like? Or something that could be a deal breaker, which I didn't think there was anything, but you never know in those kinds of situations. And so, that's right.
For the most part, they are struggling the same things we were.
Yeah. 1 Corinthians 10:13 says, no temptation has seized you except what is common to man. And I think that just really hit home for us. Everybody has these problems. Do you like the scripture dropping?
Good job.
Yeah.
They were going to challenge us to stick to some very specific physical boundaries during the class, and we just looked at each other and thought, man, this is serious business. They're not kidding around about all this.
He respected me so much, and so it did create a foundation of him being able to lead our relationship well, which would then give me confidence that he would lead our marriage well.
It was not an easy thing to do, but it was a total joy to pursue her with purity and to anticipate our wedding night and to know that
no pressure.
There you go.
For us, we had never set those boundaries. When we decided that we weren't going to sleep together anymore, we didn't go through and say, oh, what does that look like? And so we would just, push and push and push until, mistakes would happen.
Yeah.
And then we would feel awful and guilty and live in so much shame. And once we knew what we needed to be looking for, what the red flags were, I think we were able to really just know that. And knowing is half the battle.
G.I. Joe.
You like that?
Right?
The class with the questions and going home and doing homework every week, that time for us was amazing.
The homework would take us often hours, 3 hours, because we would do the homework separately and then we would discuss the questions. And if we weren't honest with one another, we were leaving something undone that could eventually harm our marriage.
Our mentor couple at the table were great without feeling like we were sharing with some perfect people.
Leading the table, leading out saying, hey, we love each other very much, and lead out with real examples of how they've done that in their lives.
They shared with us their true marriage struggles and those kinds of things that just allow you to feel like your marriage won't be perfect, but it is going to be super fun.
Our relationship went through a complete change. Just being able to understand how to love each other, how to serve each other. People always say the first year is the hardest.
I don't know what they're talking about.
I don't know what they're talking about either.
Yeah.
The more you know about one another and the more that you focus on Christ, just the more prepared you're going to be.
Here's this guy that I just absolutely adore and I think he's hot. And then you find out even more about him and see how much fun we're going to have together. It was great for me.
And my favorite part was when Scott talked about sex.
I'm trying to think of another cliche, but
Just do it.
just do it. No, just don't do it.
Oh.